For a long time, lever-action rifles were treated like relics from another era. They were the guns hanging above fireplaces, riding in pickup trucks, or carried by hunters who simply refused to move on. But something interesting has happened over the past few years. More shooters are coming back to lever guns, and not because they're nostalgic. They're coming back because these rifles are practical, reliable, surprisingly fast, and chambered in cartridges many shooters already know and trust. Today, we're looking at 8 pistol-caliber lever guns that prove this category is anything but obsolete. Some of them stay faithful to tradition, while others embrace modern features like threaded barrels, optics compatibility, and modular accessories. But every rifle on this list answers the same question in its own way. Why are serious shooters switching back to lever actions? Before we get started, I want to say thank you to everyone who continues supporting Freedom Firearms. Whether you've been here since the beginning or just found the channel today, your likes, comments, and subscriptions help keep these videos coming. If you enjoy honest firearm discussions and stories about the guns that shaped shooting culture, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our next video. Now, let's get into the countdown. Number 8. Citadel Levtac 92. There are lever guns that proudly celebrate the Old West, and then there's the Citadel Levtac 92. This rifle looks like it completely ignored the history books and decided to grow up alongside the modern sporting rifle. The first time you see one, it almost feels wrong. Synthetic furniture replaces walnut. M-lock slots replace smooth forends. The profile looks more tactical than traditional, yet the moment you work the action, you realize this is still a lever gun at heart. Built around the proven Winchester 1892 pattern, the Levtac 92 is offered in both 9mm and 45 ACP. Barrel lengths typically measure around 16.5 inches, and unloaded weight comes in at approximately 5.5 pounds, making it one of the lighter rifles in this category. It also features a threaded barrel, Picatinny rail space for optics, and a side-loading gate that allows shooters to top off the magazine without interrupting their shooting rhythm. The price is another reason people pay attention to it. Depending on configuration and local availability, the Levtac 92 generally sells for around $700 to $850. That places it well below many premium lever guns while still offering features that modern shooters expect. The story behind this rifle says a lot about today's firearms market. For years, younger shooters entered the shooting world through AR platforms. They became accustomed to red dots, suppressors, modular accessories, and lightweight synthetic stocks. Traditional lever guns often felt beautiful but unfamiliar. The Levtac 92 was designed to bridge that gap. It gives modern rifle owners an easy way to experience lever actions without abandoning the ergonomics they already know. And surprisingly, it works. Chambered in common pistol cartridges, recoil is mild, and follow-up shots can be extremely fast. Add a suppressor and a red dot, and the entire personality of the rifle changes. Suddenly, this old operating system begins to feel remarkably modern. The Citadel Levtac 92 may not satisfy every traditionalist, and it certainly won't win awards for historical authenticity. But that's precisely why it earns its place on this list. It proves that lever guns are still evolving, and for an entirely new generation of shooters, this unconventional rifle might be the gateway into a category they never expected to love. Number 7. Chiappa 1892 Alaskan Takedown. Most rifles ask you to adapt your plans around them. The Chiappa 1892 Alaskan Takedown was built around a completely different idea. It asks a simple question: what if a lever gun could go almost anywhere without becoming a burden? At first glance, it looks like a traditional Model 1892, but with a few quick movements, the rifle separates into 2 compact pieces that fit easily into a backpack, truck compartment, or small aircraft cargo area. Unlike many takedown designs that feel like novelties, the Alaskan Takedown was designed to be carried, stored, and reassembled repeatedly while maintaining practical field accuracy. The rifle is available in both .357 Magnum and .44 Magnum. It features a 16-inch barrel and weighs approximately 5.8 pounds unloaded. The stainless steel receiver and weather-resistant furniture make it especially attractive for hunters and outdoorsmen who spend long days in rain, snow, and harsh environments. Depending on configuration and finish, current prices generally range from about $1,400 to $1,700. The story behind the Alaskan name is particularly fitting. In Alaska, bush pilots, guides, fishermen, and backcountry travelers often need firearms that can disappear into small spaces but still provide real capability when called upon. A full-size rifle can become awkward inside small cabins, boats, and aircraft. A compact takedown rifle solves that problem beautifully. The .357 Magnum version is especially pleasant to shoot. Recoil remains very manageable, noise levels are moderate compared to larger rifle cartridges, and ammunition can often be shared with revolvers chambered for the same cartridge. The .44 Magnum offers considerably more power, while still keeping the rifle surprisingly compact. This also makes the Alaskan Takedown a particularly appealing option for older shooters. The relatively light recoil of the technical .357 Magnum version, combined with the rifle's moderate weight and simple manual operation, can be easier on aging shoulders and joints than many high-powered centerfire rifles. The takedown feature is another advantage because the rifle can be transported in smaller, lighter cases that are easier to handle. The Chiappa 1892 Alaskan Takedown is not the smoothest lever gun on this list, nor is it the least expensive, but few rifles offer this combination of portability, weather resistance, and practical capability. It is a rifle built for people who genuinely go places, and sometimes that alone makes all the difference. Number 6. Rossi R92. Sometimes the most respected rifles are not the expensive ones or the ones with the fanciest features. Sometimes they're the guns that quietly keep showing up in pickup trucks, deer camps, and shooting ranges year after year. That perfectly describes the Rossi R92. At first glance, the rifle does not look particularly special. It's a straightforward lever action based on John Browning's legendary Winchester 1892 design. The lines are familiar, the controls are simple, and there is nothing about it that screams premium or exclusive. Yet thousands of shooters eventually discover the same thing. The R92 often performs far better than its price tag suggests. The rifle is available in several chamberings, including .357 Magnum, .44 Magnum, .45 Colt, and even .44-40 in certain configurations. Barrel lengths range from compact 16-inch carbines to longer 20-inch rifles. Weight generally falls between 5 and 6 pounds, depending on the model, making it exceptionally easy to carry during long days in the field. One of the biggest reasons for the R92's popularity is its price. Most models currently sell for approximately $700 to $1,000, depending on finish, barrel length, and special features. In today's market, where premium lever guns can easily exceed $1,500, that price is difficult to ignore. The story of the Rossi R92 is actually a story about unexpected loyalty. Many shooters buy one as their first lever gun with every intention of upgrading later. They tell themselves this is only the affordable entry point. Then, something funny happens. The rifle keeps working. It cycles reliably, carries comfortably, and shoots accurately enough to handle everything from recreational target shooting to hunting medium-sized game. The action can feel slightly stiff when brand new, but most owners notice it, smoothing out after a few range sessions. The loading gate is simple and dependable, the sights are practical, and the rifle's balance often surprises first-time users. Perhaps that's the greatest compliment you can give any firearm. The Rossi R92 rarely tries to impress anyone. Instead, it quietly earns trust through use. And once a rifle earns trust, replacing it becomes surprisingly difficult. That is exactly why the R92 has become one of the most widely owned pistol-caliber lever actions in America, and why it continues to win over shooters who originally underestimated it. Number 5. Winchester Model 1892 Short Rifle. Some rifles become successful products. Others become legends. The Winchester Model 1892 belongs firmly in the second category. More than a century after its introduction, this rifle still commands respect from hunters, collectors, and serious shooters alike. And perhaps the most impressive thing about it is that it never needed to reinvent itself. Designed by the legendary John Browning and introduced in 1892, this rifle was purpose-built around revolver cartridges. That decision gave it an action that was shorter, lighter, and remarkably strong for its size. The design worked so well that countless manufacturers still borrow from it today. The modern Winchester Model 1892 short rifle typically comes with a 20-inch barrel and weighs around 6 pounds. Chamberings include .357 Magnum, .44 Magnum, and .45 Colt. The rifle features traditional American walnut furniture, a blued steel finish, adjustable sights, and the classic saddle ring that instantly connects it to another era of American firearms. The price reflects both its quality and heritage. Depending on configuration and market availability, most current production rifles generally sell for approximately $1,300 to $1,600. But the reason people continue buying this rifle has little to do with nostalgia alone. A .44 Magnum, fired from a 20-inch barrel, becomes a completely different animal than it is in a revolver. The longer barrel produces significantly higher velocity and noticeably greater energy. Suddenly, a cartridge many people associate with handguns begins performing like a legitimate hunting round, capable of taking deer and hogs at practical distances. There is also a fascinating piece of history attached to the Model 1892. It became one of Hollywood's favorite rifles and appeared in countless Western films and television series. Ironically, many movies set in the 1870s and 1880s featured the 1892, despite the rifle not even existing during those periods. Directors loved it because the action cycled smoothly and looked fantastic on camera. Yet beyond its movie fame lies a genuinely practical firearm. The balance feels natural, the lever throw is fast, and the rifle carries easily in the field. It is elegant without being delicate and traditional without feeling obsolete. The Winchester Model 1892 short rifle earns its place on this list because it represents something increasingly rare in the firearms world. It is proof that a great design can survive for well over a century and still make perfect sense every time you pick it up and work the lever. Number 4. Henry Model X. There was a time when Henry was almost synonymous with traditional lever guns. Beautiful walnut stocks, polished finishes, and classic lines defined the company's identity. Then something changed. Shooters began asking for threaded barrels, optics compatibility, and modern accessories. Instead of ignoring those demands, Henry decided to build a rifle that embraced them. The result was the Henry Model X. The first time you handle a Model X, it immediately feels different from a traditional lever gun. The furniture is synthetic rather than walnut. The receiver is finished in hard-coat anodized black instead of polished bluing. M-lock attachment slots are built into the forend, and the barrel comes threaded from the factory. It almost looks like a rifle designed by people who grew up shooting ARs, but developed an appreciation for lever actions later in life. The Model X is available in several chamberings, including .357 Magnum, .44 Magnum, and even .4570 Government, depending on configuration. Barrel lengths vary slightly by caliber, but the pistol caliber versions generally feature a 17.4-inch barrel and weigh approximately 7 pounds unloaded. Price depends on chambering and local availability, but most pistol caliber Model X rifles currently retail for around $1,000 to $1,200. One of the most important improvements is the side loading gate. Earlier Henry rifles relied entirely on tube loading, which worked well enough, but was slower when shooters wanted to quickly top off ammunition. The Model X keeps the smooth action that made Henry famous, while adding a faster and more practical loading system. Its rise in popularity also reflects a bigger shift happening in the firearms community. During periods when modern sporting rifles became harder to obtain or increasingly regulated in certain areas, many shooters began rediscovering lever guns. They wanted something reliable, effective, and compatible with modern accessories. The Model X arrived at exactly the right moment. Mount a red dot, add a weapon light, and attach a suppressor to the threaded barrel, and suddenly, this rifle feels surprisingly contemporary. Yet every shot still requires the deliberate movement of a lever, preserving the character that has made these rifles beloved for generations. The Henry Model X earns its position on this list because it successfully bridges two worlds. It respects the heritage of the lever gun while fully embracing modern practicality, proving that an old operating system can still evolve and remain remarkably relevant. Number 3. Marlin Model 1894. Some rifles need a long explanation before people understand why they're special. The Marlin Model 1894 is not one of them. The moment you pick it up, the rifle simply makes sense. The weight feels right. The balance feels right. Work the lever a few times and you immediately understand why so many shooters consider it one of the finest pistol-caliber lever guns ever built. Introduced in the late 19th century, the Model 1894 was designed from the very beginning around revolver cartridges. That may sound like a small detail, but it matters. Unlike some rifles that were later adapted to pistol cartridges, the 1894 was purpose-built for this role. The result is an action that feels short, fast, and incredibly natural. Current production rifles are typically chambered in .357 Magnum and .44 Magnum. Most models feature a 20-inch barrel and weigh around 6.5 pounds unloaded. Traditional versions come with American walnut stocks, blued steel construction, and adjustable sights, while modern variants may include threaded barrels and optics-friendly features. The return of Marlin under Ruger's ownership has also restored confidence among shooters. After years of inconsistent production during the later Remington era, many enthusiasts worried that the famous lever gun might never fully recover. Instead, Ruger invested heavily in manufacturing improvements and quality control. The result has been one of the most successful comebacks in the firearms industry. Prices generally range from about $1,200 to $1,500 depending on configuration and availability. The rifle's reputation was not built in laboratories or marketing departments. It was built in deer camps and on backcountry trails. Countless hunters discovered that a .357 Magnum fired through a 20-inch barrel produces far more velocity and energy than the same cartridge from a revolver. Recoil remains pleasant, ammunition costs stay reasonable, and the rifle carries comfortably all day long. Perhaps the greatest strength of the Model 1894 is its versatility. It is equally at home punching paper at the range, riding behind the seat of a ranch truck, or hunting deer in thick timber, where quick handling matters more than extreme range. The Marlin Model 1894 earns the number 3 position because it represents balance in its purest form. It does not chase trends or depend on gimmicks. It simply executes the pistol-caliber lever rifle formula so well that more than a century after its introduction, shooters still struggle to find anything that does the job better. Number 2. Henry Big Boy Steel Carbine. Sometimes the best rifle in a category is not the most expensive one or the most powerful one. Sometimes it's the rifle that gets almost everything right. That is exactly why the Henry Big Boy Steel Carbine has earned such a loyal following among shooters who have spent years trying nearly every lever gun on the market. At first glance, it looks traditional. There is no tactical furniture, no rails covering the forend, and no attempt to transform it into something it was never meant to be. The walnut stock and steel receiver give it the appearance of a classic American lever gun, but once you shoulder it, you immediately notice something different. The rifle feels lively. It feels quick. The Big Boy Steel Carbine is chambered in .357 Magnum, .44 Magnum, and .45 Colt. The Carbine version features a compact 16.5-inch barrel and weighs approximately 6.6 pounds unloaded. That combination creates a rifle that carries beautifully and transitions between targets with surprising speed. Depending on caliber and finish, current prices generally range from around $950 to $1,200. The story behind this rifle is actually a story about listening to shooters. Henry's original brass-framed big boy rifles became extremely popular, but many users wanted something lighter and more practical for everyday use. They wanted the same smooth action and craftsmanship without the extra weight of a brass receiver. Henry responded by replacing brass with steel and shortening the barrel into a handier package. The result transformed the personality of the rifle. The shorter barrel makes an enormous difference. Whether you're walking through thick woods, climbing into a truck, or maneuvering around a shooting bay, the rifle simply feels easier to live with. Chambered in Pacive. 357 Magnum. Recoil is remarkably soft and follow-up shots can be extremely fast. The .44 Magnum version offers substantially more authority for hunting while still remaining comfortable to shoot. What truly separates the big boy steel carbine from many competitors is the action itself. Henry has earned a reputation for producing some of the smoothest factory lever actions available today. Even first-time shooters often comment on how effortlessly the rifle cycles. The Henry Big Boy Steel Carbine earns the number 2 position because it may be the most complete all-around pistol caliber lever gun on this list. It is light enough to carry all day, powerful enough for serious use, simple enough for beginners, and refined enough that experienced shooters often keep coming back to it long after the novelty of other rifles has faded. Number 1. Big Horn Armory Model 89. There are powerful rifles, and then there are rifles that completely redefine what people think a category can do. The Big Horn Armory Model 89 belongs firmly in the second group. Most pistol caliber lever guns are chambered in cartridges like .357 Magnum or .44 Magnum. They are practical, enjoyable to shoot, and perfectly capable within their intended roles. Then the Model 89 arrives and changes the conversation entirely. This rifle is chambered in .500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, widely regarded as the most powerful production revolver cartridge in the world. The numbers alone are impressive, but numbers never tell the whole story. The first time most shooters see the Model 89 in person, they usually stop talking for a moment. The rifle looks substantial, purposeful, and almost oversized compared to traditional pistol caliber lever guns. That's because it was built to handle a cartridge that most rifles simply cannot. The Model 89 uses a heavy-duty action inspired by the famous Winchester 1886 design. It is manufactured entirely in the United States and built with the kind of craftsmanship that immediately feels premium. Depending on configuration, barrel lengths range from 18 to 22 inches, and the rifle weighs approximately 8 pounds unloaded. Premium quality comes with a premium price. Current rifles generally retail between $3,000 and $3,500 depending on barrel length, finish, and options. The story behind this rifle is fascinating. Big Horn Armory's founders believed there was room for a lever gun capable of delivering true big game performance, while retaining the speed and reliability that make lever actions so appealing. Instead of modifying an existing design, they engineered an entirely new platform around the massive .500 Smith & Wesson Magnum cartridge. The result borders on extraordinary. Fired through an 18-inch barrel, the cartridge develops substantially more velocity than it produces from a revolver. Energy levels push squarely into serious big game territory, making the rifle suitable for some of North America's largest animals. And perhaps that is why the Model 89 deserves the top spot. It proves that pistol caliber lever guns are not merely nostalgic alternatives to modern rifles. At their highest level, they can become something entirely different. The Big Horn Armory Model 89 is powerful, unique, beautifully built, and unforgettable. More than any other rifle on this list, it answers the question that inspired this entire video. Why are shooters switching back to lever actions? Because sometimes the old ideas still have room to surprise us. And there you have it, 8 pistol caliber lever guns that prove this category is far from a relic of the past. Some embrace modern features and optics-ready designs. Others stay true to the classic formulas that made lever actions legendary in the first place. Yet every rifle on this list shares something important. They are simple, dependable, surprisingly effective, and a lot more capable than many shooters give them credit for. Maybe that's why so many people are rediscovering lever guns. They offer speed without complexity, power without excessive weight, and a shooting experience that somehow feels both old-fashioned and completely relevant today. As always, thank you for spending your time here on Freedom Firearms. Your support means everything to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next discussion. Now I want to hear from you. Which rifle on this list would you actually buy with your own money? Did the Big Horn Armory Model 89 deserve the #1 spot? Or would you put another lever gun at the top of the rankings? And perhaps the biggest question of all, are pistol caliber lever guns making a comeback? Or did they never really go away? Let us know in the comments, because the real conversation starts there.